चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणा श्रीकृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Okay, I heard a few more beeps. So Rupal is here. Who else is there? Rupal is the only new one that I see. Okay. And one more beep. Rupal and Sonal. Okay, good. Rupal and Sonal. So Kiran, after you, now it's going to be Rupal, Kiran Khosla Mataji, and Rupal Mataji, who just joined us. After you, Sonal will be there. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start sharing my screen here, and we will get going by reading one verse. I'm sharing my screen here so you can see that. Chapter 8. What's the name of chapter 8 of Bhagavad-gita?
Attaining the Supreme.
And who is the Supreme?
Kṛṣṇa.
Of course. All right. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All right. And who goes first?
I'm going. Yeah.
You're going first? Okay. Then you go first.
Attaining the Supreme, Arjuna inquired, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the Self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me.
Who is the Lord of sacrifice, and how does he live in the body? O Madhusudana, and how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? Sutapa.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the indestructible, transcendental, living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, the Self. Action pertaining to the development of the material bodies of the living entity is called karma or fruitive activities. Jyoti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. We are reading fourth one. Na? O best
Yes,
of
Mataji.
The physical nature, which is constantly changing, is called Adi Bhuta, the material manifestation. The universal form of Lord, which includes all the demigods like those of the sun and moon, is called Adi Deva. And I, the Supreme Lord, represented as super soul in the heart of every embodied being, is called Adi Yagya, the Lord of sacrifice. Hare Krishna Ji.
You have to take the name of the person after you.
Mataji, sorry.
Hare Krishna Mataji. And who's text 5, and whosoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone at once, attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Hare Krishna. And Kiran Mataji after me.
Hare Krishna ji. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. Rupal Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. Sonal Mataji. Text 8.
Who meditate on me as the Supreme Person constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path. He, O path, is sure to reach me.
Now read it one more time with more energy.
One more time.
One more time, read it with more energy in it. Put more
Okay.
energy. Yeah.
He who meditates on me as Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly remembering me, undeviated from the path. He, O path, he, O path, is sure to reach.
Go slow. He, O path,
Slow.
Pṛthā,
O path is sure to reach me.
is sure
Sure.
to reach me. Yeah, don't eat words in between, right? Read every word which is there. It's Bhagavad-gita. Subodhini, are you in a position to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. No, I am hearing Mataji, please.
Okay, good. So then continue, please. The class, please continue.
Yeah. One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and he is transcendental beyond this material nature. Vashana Mataji.
Hare Krishna. One who at the time of death fixes his life hair between the eyebrows and by strength of yoga with an undeviated mind engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sutafa.
Text 11. Persons who are learned in the Vedas, who utter Omkara, and who are great sages in the renounced order, enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now briefly explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. Jyoti Mataji.
The yogic situation is that of detachment from all the sensual engagements, closing all the doors of senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life here at the top of head. One establishes himself in yoga. Hare Krishna ji, Parul Mata ji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, text 13. After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred symbol Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna ji.
Sorry, that's I'm just trying to scroll it. It's stuck there. You have to read full. 14.
For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Pṛthā, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. Rupal Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Text 15. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection. Sonal Mataji, text 16.
Krishna Mataji, my internet is not stable. Okay. you don't take 6 from the planet in the material world down to the lowest are places of misery where repeated births. But one who attend to my abode, O son of Kunti, never take birth again.
By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night. Vashana Mataji.
At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from the unmanifest state. And thereafter, when the night falls, they are merged into the unmanifest again. Hare Krishna. Sutapa Mataji.
Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated. Jyoti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is the supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remain as it is. Hare Krishna ji, Padun Mata ji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, text 21. That which the Vedantists describe as unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns. That is my supreme abode. Hare Krishna, Kiran Mataji.
Hare Krishna Ji, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all-pervading, and everything is situated within him. Hare Krishna Ji, Rupal Mataji.
Text 23. O best of Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which, passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not come back. Sonal Mataji, text 24.
Text 24. Those who know the Supreme Brahman and that Supreme by power of very God in the light at an auspicious day during the fortnight or, or during the 6 month travels in the north. Hola Radha Didi.
The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet but again comes back. Vashana.
Yes, ma'am. According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world. One in the light and one in the darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back. But when one passes in darkness, he returns. Sutapa.
Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. Jyoti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, a person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from study of Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. Hare Krishna Ji.
Hare Krishna. All right, so we'll spend a few minutes here talking about what we heard so far. Any questions that you have, any reflections from chapter 8 of Bhagavad-gita? Anything that stuck your mind, anything was a little confusing, etc., etc.
But Mataji, I wanted to understand the Omkar because in CC Chaitanya Charitamrita, Omkar has an explanation of Krishna, Krishna, Radha, and Jiva. And here it says that if one attains Omkar, he will attain Brahman. Can you please help to understand?
Yeah. So basically, Krishna is bhavgrahi Janardhan. So he understands the mood in which we were chanting. So in this chapter, they are talking about yoga, right? The yogis they are talking. And he's talking about different types of yogis and different types of ways in which people do devotional service to the Lord. Right? So when he says, Om Ityakaram Brahma Vyaharan Mam Anusmaran, right? So if a person is going to chant the Om, right? So Om by itself doesn't have a shape, right? It's a sound. It doesn't have a shape by itself that we can see manifested. So when a person is chanting Om, they are usually those kinds of devotees who believe that the Lord or Krishna or God does not have any form. So they believe in Nirakar. So when they say God is Nirakar, God doesn't have a form, then they will take to chanting of the letter Om, the Om. However, we know from Srimad Bhagavatam that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, can be understood in three aspects. So what are the three aspects? Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagwan, iti Shabdate. So there were three aspects. Brahmeti is the Brahman effulgence. Paramatma is the Lord in the heart, the four-handed Vishnu form. And the last one is when you understand Krishna as Krishna himself, Bhagwan. Right? So those who are chanting Om with the understanding in their mind and with the mood that I am chanting the name of God, the supreme truth, absolute truth, who does not have a shape. So because Om is a representation of Krishna, and Krishna says that even in Bhagavad-gita in chapter 10, he says that. So although it is Krishna and he's taking the name of Krishna, but his mood when he's chanting out and reaching out to the name Krishna is that there is Krishna, I call him God, right? And it doesn't have any shape. So that person is only going to reach till the Brahman effulgence of Krishna. Okay? On the other hand, if somebody sits down and says like I have read the Bhagavad-gita, and the Bhagavad-gita you read that Krishna is saying, okay, I am the letter Om. So when a person is saying, okay, he's still thinking about the two-handed form of Krishna with the flute, and he's taking the name Om, saying that, okay, this Om is not different from Krishna, like that, right? So Bhavgrani Janardhan, he will look into your head and see what you're doing. And then when you take to devotional service, actually, it's very interesting that we are all parts and parcel of Krishna, right? And we are parts and parcel of Krishna. So we will have qualities of Krishna in us. For example, the whole big ocean, right? So the water of ocean is salty. And if you take one drop of water from the ocean, and if you analyze it in your chemistry lab, you will find that it is salty. So even the drop of water is very small as compared to an ocean, but it will have the qualities of the ocean to a minute degree. For example, the mighty ocean can push a 1-ton car, right? In a tsunami, it can just throw it up in the air. But a drop of water cannot do that. Right? So it has got the qualities, but in minute quantity. But the qualities are the same. Seawater is also salty, ocean is salty, and the drop of ocean is also salty. So similarly, when we are parts and parcels of Krishna, so we will have qualities of Krishna in us. And so one of the things that we do is that we are controllers, because Krishna is the supreme controller, right? Which verse says that Krishna is the supreme controller? What is the Sanskrit for controller? That's a hint. That will get you the verse. In Sanskrit, what do you call controller? Ishwar.
Ishvara Parama Krishna.
Krishna.
That from Brahm Samhita.
Ishvara Parama
First sloka.
Another Govinda, Ishvara Parama Krishna. So you see Krishna is the supreme controller, right? Isha Vashyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena taktena bhunjitama krida kaschit, right? So in Isha Upanishad also, Isha Upanishad, Ish Upanishad, right? It's the Upanishad of Ish. So he's a controller, and we also like to do controlling. So what we do is we want to control our own lives. We also try to control other people's life, and mostly we're unsuccessful. How many of you try to control your spouses?
Mataji, are the controller and Ishwar and Bhagwan are not the same then in that
Ishwar is an aspect of Bhagwan. Good question. Ishwar and Bhagwan are the same, but Bhagwan is at a higher level, right? So Ishwar is a manager. He manages. Okay. For example, interesting. I'll tell you a question. I'll tell you a story from when I was working for Oracle, and so of course was majorly owned by Larry Ellison at that time, and he was working from home, and his laptop went out of order. So one of the engineers from the company went to repair his laptop, and that was that engineer's first day at Oracle. So you can imagine you're the first day at a company and you get called into the home of Larry Ellison. So she went there and then somebody ushered her and took her to the backyard where he was standing or he was sitting, whatever. And she stood there. So went there, he looked at her and said, wait. And what he was doing, there was a squirrel who was trying to do something on, it was a big, nice, red, bushy squirrel. And the squirrel was trying to do something on a tree. And he was standing and he was observing and enjoying, what the squirrel was doing. And he stood there for 30 minutes. He didn't even care. Whereas here at Oracle, everybody was like, oh, Larry Ellison's laptop is out of order. Go, rush. You find the first engineer, shove her and push her and send her there. And she was like, I just stood there for half an hour. I was completely bewildered. Here I was supposed to come and solve the laptop problem immediately. And here he's playing, right? So obviously her manager had, in a rush, sent her there. And then he looked like that. He was least bothered his laptop was working or not working. He said, yeah, go take, look at it. And then she looked at that and she said, I think I'll have to take it back to the office. He's like, yeah, that's fine. You take it. So that is the difference between Ishwar, who was the manager at Oracle, who was all perplexed, was managing this, managing that, resource planning and all that. And then there was the owner who was playing. So that's the difference between Bhagwan and the controller. So Kṛṣṇa, they're all parts and parcels of Kṛṣṇa. They're expansions or multiple expansions or separated expansions of Kṛṣṇa, but they are expansions of Kṛṣṇa. They come from Kṛṣṇa. Even we all come from Kṛṣṇa. But the difference is that the controller will be engaged in controlling this material world and to a certain extent parts of the spiritual world as well. And so their role is more strict. They are in the managerial role. And the people who look up to them are also like subordinates, right? We don't joke with our managers, right? Similarly, the people around that controller will also not joke about their managers. So
can you say, Mataji, sorry, Maya can be Ishwar, Maya, the way he controls, no?
No, we'll talk about Maya. Just hold on to that thought, Prabhu. And so when they're controlling, so when Kṛṣṇa is in that form of a controller, he is known as Vishnu. Okay, so Vishnu is controller. You see 4 hands. So he's a controller, and when he is also available in various places, he's also in your heart as Paramatma, right? And as the Paramatma inside your heart, he controls you. So the funny thing is that we try to control everything, we try to control ourselves, but something inside us is controlling us, and that is Kṛṣṇa. In the form of Vishnu is controlling us, right? Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagwan, then the Bhagwan. Bhagwan is Kṛṣṇa. So he is the one who plays. That's why you see Kṛṣṇa, goes like a cowherd boy. He's got a flute. He doesn't have shoes. Right? He's barefooted. He's having fun like that. So that's the difference between Bhagwan and Ishwar. Okay, Ishwar is controller. He will have hundreds of things in his head. He's kind of like the CEO, and then underneath him, he will have a board of directors. Underneath him, he'll have the managers. And that's why the devatas that you talk about, they are all managers here, right? So each has got his or her own department. Now, Maya is a devotee of the Lord.
Sorry, Mataji, 1 minute. This is the difference between the Bhagwan and Paramatma. So,
Bhagwan and, yeah.
Paramatma. But where do we say that Ishwar is Bhagwan only, or it is Paramatma?
No, Ishwar is Paramatma.
Paramatma. Okay.
Yeah, and I was saying that Ishwar will be available in so many places. For example, Karuna Vishnu is also Ishwar, right?
Yeah.
He's a controller. He's controlling the creation of universes. Then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is also Ishwar. He controls one universe like that, right? Brahma also inside the universe is a Ishwar, but he's not in the category of transcendental. He's like us, right?
So,
Yeah.
Mataji, Paramatma and Ishwar is synonym.
Paramatma, I would say, is one type of a Ishwar who resides in your heart. There could be many Ishwars, many different types of Ishwars, like Karna-dakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, all the other Vishnus in the Vaikuntha planet, they all Ishwars. They control something or the other, right?
So, Mataji, how the term Brahmana is used here? Like, we only know
It's not Brahmana.
It's Brahman.
Yeah, it's Brahman. Brahman means the effulgence from the Lord. So Brahman and then Brahmana. Brahmana will be the person Brahma, right? Or in English they say Brahmin, right? So Brahmin, but they sound similar, but they are different. And Brahm, Brahm is used in many, many different ways. Sometimes Brahm is also used for the soul to say something is transcendental, so they say Brahm, like that, right?
Brahm is also doubt.
Sorry?
Hare Krishna ji, Brahm is also doubt, no?
That is Brahm.
That is Brahm.
That is Brahm.
Brahm. Brahmeti, yeah. So Brahmati te mana, Krishna says that, and Arjun says that in first chapter of Bhagavad-gita, right? And he's describing how that war is impacting him. Yeah. So controller, right? Now, what is Maya? So Maya is a devotee of the Lord, and that devotee of the Lord manages this world in this material part of it. And she's the one who makes sure that the Jiva souls continue to stay in this world and suffer and enjoy. Because both suffering as well as enjoyment are ordained for us when we go through a very difficult part and every difficult patch of our life. What do typical people say when something bad is happening to them? What's the typical people? Don't give me answers, you devotees, you're all devotees. I'm asking a general question.
Why
What is the
me?
general message?
Why
Thank you
me?
very much. Why me? Right? That's why I say, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why do I have this disease? Why did I lose my job? Why did I lose my marriage? Why did this happen? Why me? And to them, everybody seems to be looking very, very happy. Everybody seems to be enjoying their life. But in chapter 8, in subsequent verses, we will come to know that this material world is
Temporary.
Temporary, starts with a D.
Illusion.
D as in, like, I'm writing the D.
Oh, Sanskrit.
Not da, but da. Yeah.
Dukhalayam.
Ashashvatam.
Very good. Dukhalayam ashashvatam. So you had said ashashvatam. I was looking for dukhalayam, right? So although we might see that other people are enjoying their life and they're very happy, but the reality is that this world is a dukhalayam. Like you have pustakalaya, nyayalaya, bhojanalaya. This is dukhalaya. It's full of dukh. Everybody has got the dukh. And if somebody doesn't have the dukh, he will sooner or later have the dukh when they are dying. Or when the old age comes, the dukh comes manifold there. So we try to enjoy here. And when something wrong happens to us, we are like, why does it happen to you? Why did it happen to me? Why me? Why me? What did I do to deserve this? Right? I lived such a nice life. Why is this happening to me? But here, according to our philosophy, the Vedic philosophy, the life we have to look at the complete time span. Something bad could be happening to me today because of something I did 20 lifetimes ago. And there's a law of karma that keeps on, it'll come back. Whatever you did to others, that's going to come back to you. Okay? So a devotee understands this part. A devotee understands this, and when anything bad happens to a devotee, what the devotee's mood is not why me, because devotee knows why me. Well, you did it first. That's why it's coming back to you. Now the devotee prays to the Lord and says, tatte nukampam susamikshamaṇo Unjanamivatmakritam vipakam Hidvagvapubhir namaste Jivetayo muktipade sadayama. So it says that he says tatte anukampam. So he's praying to the Lord. And he's praying to the Lord and says, "Oh Lord, this is your anukampa." Anukampa means mercy. So can you imagine how exalted the mood of a devotee is? That here he is suffering. Bad things are happening to the devotee. And the devotee is turning to the Lord and he's saying, "It is your mercy." And then he says, Bhunjanam ev atma kritam. He says that I am suffering this because of my own activities. Atma kritam. Atma means by myself. Kritam means I did. These are my own doings. Right? So when such a thing happens to that devotee, he says that, oh, this is your mercy. And why does he say this is a mercy? He says that because according to my karmic reactions, I was supposed to get worse punishment. I was supposed to get a worse punishment, and then it is your mercy that you have reduced the sentence on me. And then he gets so happy that he continues to glorify the Lord. So look at the stark opposite way in which non-devotees and devotees behave when a bad situation comes into their lives. Right? The other person will say, why me? I don't think there is God. God is very unjust. Right? I don't think God exists. These are some of the things that non-devotees will think. But the devotee will look at it from a same situation. He will look at it from a very different perspective. Right? For example, you buy a new Tesla car and you go to the grocery shop and you park your car to get some ice cream. And you come back and you find that somebody has scrapped the car on the side. Right? It's cause for you to get very agitated, very angry, curse, go and ask for the CCTV footage, and you want to nail down the person who did sins to your car, right? That's a very natural reaction.
And that happened with us, Mataji.
There you go. Yeah. The devotee, on the other hand, says that, oh my goodness, Kṛṣṇa, I think I was supposed to be hit by a car on the freeway. And you reduced it for me, and now my car has just got a scratch on it. It could have been totaled, right? So the way they approach the problems in their life, automatically, because of the way of the thing they think, they are at peace with themselves. So,
Mataji, devotees, even after all these reactions, don't even have the feelings of like sad. They understand why it happened, but they won't have the feelings of like sadness or anger or anything.
They look at it very differently. They look at it very differently. They can be sad. Like somebody close to them died. They can be sad on that. There's no harm in, being that, because you have soul is sentient. You will have feelings. But the inside, the anger that comes, they won't have that anger. Why did it happen to me? Now I will see to everybody. That they don't do. They will even if for example somebody went and stole their car, right? So they will not get extremely angry at that, but they will still follow the process. They'll go to the police. But then what happens to your consciousness inside, right? Or somebody hit your car and ran away. You have to go to the court. Yes, you have to go to the court. You have to fight. Yes, you have to fight. But the mood, how much is that fight overcoming your life? That is the point to be noted. Right? How are we reacting to that situation? We will do whatever is necessary to be done. But it's that difference in how you react to it makes you happy or unhappy in this world. It's not that bad things don't happen to devotees. They happen to devotees. But then, because a devotee does not have too much of desires for their own sense gratification, that is why when a few things are related to sense gratification here and there go away, it doesn't matter. I remember I had to go for my regular blood work that you do. And one of the blood work is like, you have to fast. And as I had taken a day off from work, and I said, okay, let me squeeze in a blood test also in this day. And I got the appointment at 1:30 in the afternoon. And this was fasting. So I had to have dinner, and then no breakfast, no lunch. You stay hungry for like 15, 16 hours like that, right? Till you get a doctor's appointment. prior to that, I used to, time myself and not have that appointment on that day. Schedule an appointment at 8:30 in the morning so that the moment you get your blood, you can start eating because you were starving, right? But then I was just commenting to my husband that, we have gotten so used to not eating, skipping food, having fast and this fast and that fast. So many festivals coming in fasting. It doesn't matter. Fasting sugar doesn't matter, And so it's again, the way you approach the situations changes when you become a devotee. Blood fasting sugar is not a big deal. They tell you not to fast. That's not a big deal. So if you want to have any semblance of peace of mind in your life, then you should take to devotional service. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. Because every other happiness is short-lived. Either it'll die in its own time, or it'll die when we die. So either case, it is short-lived. That's why you should dukhalayam ashashvatam. Ashashvatam means it is temporary. Everything here is temporary, like that. But this dukhalayam ashashvatam has been created, and there is Maya, who is a devotee of the Lord, and the devotee of the Lord makes sure that the soul gets attracted to this material world. Whatever it is, the soul gets attracted, gets through the motions of being attracted, suffers lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and then at one point turns the face towards Kṛṣṇa. And that is why the famous story from our Shastras talks about two birds, they are sitting on a tree, right? One bird is just hopping from one branch to another branch and is oblivious to anything else, oblivious to the other bird that is watching him. It's just going from one branch to another branch and eating this fruit and that fruit and this fruit. Just go and put the beak in it and eat something. Now, if it puts the beak on a ripe fruit, it'll get some nice juicy taste, right? But sometimes it'll put its beak on a raw fruit, and then the raw fruits are bitter. So sometimes it'll taste something sweet, sometimes it'll taste something bitter, but this way just keeps on hopping from one branch to another branch. But then over a period of time, this bird turns its face and looks at the other bird. So what are these two birds?
Atma, Paramatma. Sorry.
Yes.
Atma and Paramatma, right? And what is the tree?
The material world.
Material world.
Tree is your
Material
body.
body.
Yeah. Tree is your body, sort of body, but you can say material world also, right? And you are the soul who's hopping from one branch to another branch. And Maya is aiding you in doing that. Maya helps you in doing that. Right? Well, this is a nice, red, juicy. Look at this one. Come here. Right? Like, look at this beautiful woman. Come here. Like, man, handsome man, go there. Beautiful jewelry. Go, let's buy it. Right? And then you go buy the jewelry, and now you're worried. Somebody's going to snatch it from your neck. Where do you keep it now? Will the cleaner person just pick up your jewelry and go, and then like, okay, let me keep it in the bank locker? And now it's like, oh, and every time that I have to use the jewelry, I have to go to the bank. Again, you get all the miseries. So the idea is that the sooner you get bored of this world, and sooner you turn your head towards Kṛṣṇa. And the moment you turn your head towards Kṛṣṇa, then Kṛṣṇa will make sure that you take to the right path. So even if you're chanting the Omkara, somehow you come from a family where people just chanted Om, but you're chanting Om and you have concluded that, oh, Om means Radha and Krishna, and O and U and M, and this is soul and this is that. And there's so many pieces of Om that people make and interpret and explain, right? But if you're thinking of, okay, this is Krishna, and you're doing everything for Om, right? Then Krishna will help you. Krishna will make sure that you come and ultimately start worshipping that form, Krishna's form. So Krishna is Bhavgrahi Janardhan. He knows what is in your heart, and he will do that because he is the supreme controller. We are also controllers in our sense, but the moment we give up and the moment we surrender to Krishna, as it had happened, Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, right? In Bhagavad-gita, and then you see what happened. Like that. So did that answer your question? It was a long-winded answer for many minutes, but it was a good recap. Shall we do the verse for today?
Yeah.
All right. So what's the verse for today?
13.
8:14.
14, correct.
14.
500 points.
ananya-cetāḥ.
All right, ananya. Ananya-cetāḥ satatam yo mam smarati nityaśaḥ tasyāhaṁ su-labhaḥ pārtha nitya-yuktasya yoginaḥ. Ananya-cetāḥ satatam yo mam smarati nityaśaḥ tasyāhaṁ su-labhaḥ pārtha nitya-yuktasya yoginaḥ. Ananya-cetāḥ satatam yo mam smarati nityaśaḥ tasyāhaṁ su-labhaḥ pārtha nitya-yuktasya yoginaḥ. Synonyms: ananya-cetāḥ, without deviation of the mind. Satatam, always. Yaha, anyone who. Mam, me, Kṛṣṇa. Smarati, remembers. Nityaśaḥ, regularly. Tasya, to him. Aham, I am. Su-labhaḥ, very easy to achieve. Pārtha, O son of Pṛthā. Nitya, regularly. Yuktasya, engaged. Yoginaḥ, for the devotees. So here two keywords are satatam and nityaśaḥ. So nityaśaḥ is, or nitya is, to do some things regularly. Okay. So I get up and I brush my teeth in the morning. That is being regular. But if I brush my teeth every morning, then it becomes satatam, always. Okay. So I get up in the morning, I chant, I take a bath, I chant some more, I do deity worship, I make prasadam, I'm doing it every day and always without a break. That becomes satatam. So he's saying here that for one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Pṛthā, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. So by being constantly engaged in devotional service, it becomes easy. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada explains, this verse especially describes the final destination attained by the unalloyed devotees who serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Bhakti Yoga. Previous verses have mentioned 4 different kinds of devotees: the distressed, the inquisitive, those who seek material gain, and the speculative philosophers. What's that verse? From Canada, SAP Audio. What is that verse that talks about 4 different kinds of devotees? We learned that in 7th chapter. Chaturvidha.
Temam.
Jana sukritino Arjuna. Arto jigyasu arthati jnanija bharata rishabha. Right. So then he says that the different processes of liberation have also been described: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Hatha Yoga. The principles of these yoga systems have some bhakti added. But this verse particularly mentions pure bhakti yoga without any mixture of jnana, karma, or hatha. As indicated by the word ananya-cetāḥ, in pure bhakti yoga, the devotee desires nothing but Kṛṣṇa. A pure devotee does not desire promotion to heavenly planets, nor does he seek oneness with the Brahma Jyotir, or salvation or liberation from the material entanglement. A pure devotee does not desire anything. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the pure devotee is called Nishkam, which means that he has no desire for self-interest. Perfect peace belongs to him alone. Right? Bhukti Mukti Shuddha Kami, Sadeva Ashanta. Right? Those who are going for bhukti, to enjoy something, mukti, right? They're always ashant because they are running after some goal. But the bhakt is Sadeva Shanta because he does not desire anything. Perfect peace belongs to him alone, not to them who strive for personal gain. Whereas a Jnana Yogi, Karma Yogi, or Hatha Yogi has his own selfish interest, a perfect devotee has no desire other than to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Lord says that for anyone who is unflinchingly devoted to him, he is easy to obtain. A pure devotee always engages in devotional service to Kṛṣṇa in one of his various personal features. Kṛṣṇa has various plenary expansions and incarnations, such as Ram and Narsimha, and a devotee can choose to fix his mind in loving service to any of these transcendental forms of the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee meets with none of the problems that plague the practitioners of other yogas. Bhakti yoga is very simple and pure and easy to perform. One can begin simply by chanting Hare Krishna. The Lord is merciful to all, but as we have already explained, he is specially inclined towards those who always serve him without deviation. The Lord helps us devotees in various ways. As stated in the Vedas, Katha Upanishad 1.2.23, Yam evaisha vrinute tena labhyas tasyesha atma vivrunute tanum swam. One who is fully surrendered and engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord can understand the Supreme Lord as he is. And as stated in Bhagavad-gita 10.10, Tadami buddhi yogam tam. The Lord gives such a devotee sufficient intelligence so that ultimately the devotee can attain him in his spiritual kingdom. The special qualification of the pure devotee is that he is always thinking of Krishna without deviation and without considering the time or place. There should be no impediments. He should be able to carry out his service anywhere and at any time. Some say that the devotee should remain in holy places like Vrindavan or some holy town where the Lord lived. But a pure devotee can live anywhere and create the atmosphere of Vrindavan by his devotional service. It was Sri Advaita who told Lord Chaitanya, wherever you are, O Lord, there is Vrindavan. As indicated by the words satatam and nityaśaḥ, which means always, regularly, or every day, a pure devotee constantly remembers Krishna and meditates upon him. These are qualifications of the pure devotee for whom the Lord is most easily attainable. Bhakti Yoga is a system that the Gita recommends above all others. Generally, the Bhakti yogis are engaged in 5 different ways. Shanta Bhakta, engaged in devotional service in neutrality. Dasya Bhakta, engaged in devotional service as servant. Sakhya Bhakta, engaged as a friend. Vatsalya Bhakta, engaged as parent. And Madhurya Bhakta, engaged as conjugal lover of the Supreme Lord. In any of these ways, the pure devotee is always constantly engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Lord and cannot forget the Supreme Lord. And for him, the Lord is easily attained. A pure devotee cannot forget the Supreme Lord for a moment, and similarly, the Supreme Lord cannot forget his pure devotee for a moment. This is the great blessing of the Krishna conscious process of chanting the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so I'll pause here and look for reflections or questions.
Mataji, at one sentence, it says, pure devotee does not desire higher planets, does not desire moksha, nothing. So there is no desire, but he wants to go back to supreme abode, right?
Yes, when they are talking about he doesn't have any desire, they are talking about any material desires, which are basically centered around self-enjoyment. Right? I want to enjoy, so I desire. What can I desire when I want to enjoy? Give me some examples of things that I can desire when I want to enjoy.
I want to have a bungalow.
I want to have a bungalow.
Yeah.
People can desire a bungalow. Okay. What else can a person desire?
Gulab jamun.
Gulab jamun. Okay. Is that all you desire? Bungalow with gulab jamun?
Nice car.
Nice car. Standing outside the bungalow. Who else is inside the bungalow with you?
My husband.
Your loved ones.
Right? Your loved ones. Right? So there's no limit to desiring things, but they are all on how can I enjoy? How can I enjoy? How can I enjoy? Right? But if your desire is that I want to please Krishna, you can still desire a bungalow. And you can say, I want a big bungalow because I want to have Krishna Katha in the big bungalow. Right? It's the same thing you are looking for. But you see, the approach is different. And Krishna sitting in your heart knows that. He's Bhavgrahi, he's Nardan. He knows when a person is striving for a bungalow, why is he doing that? Krishna knows that. And so sometimes Krishna will give you a bungalow and sometimes he won't. And in some of the reasons he won't give you is that that bungalow might become a deterrent to your devotional service.
Yeah.
Right? The management is there. Then you have to pay property tax. Then you'll say, now I need a job and a bigger job and a better job. So then the time which you thought you will spend in devotional service is all gone now in serving Maya in order to make the, maintain that bungalow. So sometimes he won't give you, although we might have devotional intentions behind that desire. So a surrendered soul will always say, okay, Krishna, it was your mercy. Whatever you do it for my well-being. And they are a sundered soul, so they do that. Right? What else from what we read? Anything that struck your mind? Anything that is not clear from what we read?
No, I really like this sentence in the purport. The principles of this yoga system have some bhakti added, but this verse particularly mentions pure bhakti yoga without any mixture of gyan, karma, or hatha. So I really liked it that it is so simple. Bhakti yoga, keep on doing the service to the Lord, and you're done with it. You got everything.
Exactly. A verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says, right? What does it say? Anya-bhilashita shunyam jnana
karmadhyana anukulyena Kṛṣṇa
sevanam
Shilanam Bhakti Uttama.
Shilam Bhakti Uttama, right? So it's an anya-bhilashita shunyam. Shunya means zero. Anya-bhilashita means any other desire. So it is zero on any other desires. Anya-bhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. It doesn't want to do karma kandi activities. I'll do this and I will get this. Doesn't want to do that. Jnana, he also doesn't want to become a jnani, because I might have a desire that I want to memorize this entire Srimad Bhagavatam. I want to become the best lecturer in the world so that everybody says, wow. That wow is for me, right? So that is abhilasha for myself, right? So it's
wow is also a material desire.
Yes, wow is a subtle desire. Actually, some of our on the material and the gross plane, when we talk about pleasures, they talk about different degrees of pleasure that you can get, right? And the highest degree of pleasure, they say, is what you get out of sex, right? Sex pleasure is the highest pleasure on the gross planet, on the gross plane, right? But then these things, like to getting a new car, getting a wow, that are acharyas call as subtle sex. It gives you more enjoyment, even more enjoyment, because it's everlasting, at least till your lifetime, right? You will think about it over and over again. Say, oh, wow, they said, wow, so nice. I'm so great. I can memorize shlokas. I can do this. I can do that.
Hare Krishna Mataji. A few minutes ago, like 20 minutes to 9, my son called up and I told him, Anuj, I can talk to you only for 10 minutes and because I have a class. And he said, you still have to attend the class. 13 years now you have been you have come to Bhakti and still you have to attend the class. I said, every time you attend the class, you learn something new. And then he said, Bhagavad-gita it must be perfected. Then my husband took over and he said, every time she says you read, you get something new. So that is why. And then, you see, he said, is this because of ISKCON? I said, yeah, ISKCON teaches us all this. And this is the shloka. And we were just reciting the shloka. And Mataji, the best part is that my husband said, Anuj, the best thing is that she is totally away from the material desires. There is no dukkha, no sukha for her. She is happy the way she is. I felt so happy with God's grace. I said, today my husband is saying this is the
Exactly.
best.
And this comes from devotee association and patience and proper behavior that we exhibit. Actually, it's a very interesting point that you brought in, a very interesting observation. I'm going to ask you a question. Do we live in a broken world? Is it a perfect world? Yes, right? Everything is broken here. Everything. Nothing works. But you don't have to live a broken life. How about that?
Yes.
Right? So you could be working very hard. You can be, planning. You do, put your best effort. right? But it'll all get undone in the end. If it doesn't get during it, right?
And
Even if you done very hard, and then even if you get it, the death is going to come and take it away very cruelly, everything. What to
सुख
talk
दुखे
about
समय
the
कृत्वा
injustice of old age? Huh?
सुख दुखे समय कृत्वा लाभालाभो
Yes,
जयाजयो.
right. It's a very difficult thing,
Mm.
right? So, so Bhagavad-gita tells us all about this. The Galayam Yasashvatam, it's saying that this is what it is, right? But then Gita is also telling you that you don't have to necessarily live in this broken world a broken life. You can still live in this broken world, and like a lotus, right? Like a lotus that doesn't get touched by the dirty water in which it grows. Similarly, you can live here. And in today's purport also, they said, a Krishna conscious person thinks about Krishna every time, doesn't even think about where he is, which basically means that I could be a judge sitting in the Supreme Court of America, and I could be thinking of Krishna. There's nothing that stops you from doing that. There's nothing that stops you from thinking of Krishna.
If that was the case, Mataji, things would have been much better.
There you go. Yes, it's always good to have devotees in higher positions.
Yeah.
Yeah, managing corporations and things like that.
We must go and give Bhagavad-gita to these people.
You should. Yep, that's why book distribution is so important. Right? So, although you are in a miserable place, miseries will come unannounced, undesired, unasked for, uncalled for. They will come on their own accord, right? But to suffer or not to suffer is in your own hands.
Yeah.
That is in your own hands. How are you going to look at it? Why me? This whole world is bad. There is no justice. This or tattenu kampam susamikṣamāno. Right? It is your mercy, Krishna, that I'm going through this. And whenever you go through a difficult stage in life, a situation, a scenario, and you survive that scenario, this means that you have come out, like if you enter a globe of misery, from one side, you enter a globe of misery. And then when you come out or from the other side of the globe, you now have got the strength to handle that globe because you just crossed it. So each of these difficult situations that come in our life, they actually strengthen you. One, they will remove a little, maybe just a small iota, but they will remove your attachment to this material world. And hopefully they will take you one small step towards Krishna.
Mataji, the Tattenu Kampam is so useful because
Yes.
anytime you get anything and you know the verse, you say, oh, it could have been so much worse, but it's only this much. So I felt that verse helps a lot.
Very powerful. Yes.
Yeah.
Very powerful. Very, very powerful. Anything else that you want to talk or ask or reflect from what we heard today?
Did you introduce new member, Mataji? Hare Krishna, Manju.
We talked a little bit with Manju. She was not aware that we broadcast this on Facebook and YouTube, so she preferred that she would stay off the camera and off the sound. And we honor such respects. We respect such wishes. So we are doing that.
Mataji, I have to leave.
Sitapa, 10 o'clock in the night for Sitapa. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mataji.
What was it? Nitya-yuktasya. Without fail, always. Thank you. You are remembering Krishna by coming to these classes. Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
So we will meet again on Sunday.
Yes.
Krishna Billing at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. And it won't be a long lecture. It will be half an hour. And we will pick up one verse from the Bhagavad-gita and we will learn how to pronounce it. And we will also repeat it so that we can memorize it. Right? So I'll take your leave now. Dear devotees, vanchakalpatarubhyasya
Kripa sindhu vaevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo
Gaur Premanandi.
Thank you, Shraddha Mataji, for the best class ever.
Mataji, thank you.